everyone, to this week's episode of Unrooted Baseball Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than junior infielder on the baseball team here at Menlo College, Dalton Maxwell. Dalton, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Brian.
You're very welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. You are the only switch hitter here on this Menlo College baseball team. How did you learn to hit from both sides of the plate, and why did you learn to hit from both sides?
You know, that's an interesting story because it's all my dad. He has planned my expedition with baseball before I was out of the womb. He planned on teaching me to hit left-handed, and he's a right-handed hitter, so he's going to teach me the opposite side that he doesn't know. And then he planned on teaching me how to hit right-handed when I turned 10 years old, where I could actually have a good feel in baseball. Yeah. And so then while I was in Little League, he actually had me switch off left and right every single time, every pitcher, except if it was a lefty, because lefties were pretty rare.
Yeah.
But that's where it began, and he wanted me to have the advantage over everybody else because that's what he wanted to do. So
holy cow.
Yeah, he has had a plan. He's also held me back. He put me early in kindergarten so I would be the youngest in the draft. He has planned a lot.
Wow, I love how he's got this whole master plan. Is it written down anywhere?
Oh, it's
is
probably
this
written. He loves writing
here?
stuff down.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. One day you gotta go and ask him for this like binder or whatever he's got written.
It's definitely in the safe.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. So you'd say he's obviously been one of the biggest influences.
He is my hitting coach. Life. He's my fielding coach. I would usually call him after every single practice, every single time I hit. It's always like, call my dad. Gotta tell him about it.
Do you ever do any pitching?
Nope, he did not want me to pitch in high school because he wanted me to save my arm for college.
You know what? I respect that though. Not a lot of people.
I was a good pitcher in Little League too. Like I went in there, threw strikes. You know, a little closer, but then after that, he's like, you gotta save your arm.
So you did the Little League route, but then you didn't do anything in high school. That's interesting.
Yep, he told all my coaches that they would not let me pitch.
Wow, that's interesting. So did you ever back then go any off-speed pitches, or were you just...
Oh, no. He wouldn't let any of the guys on the Little League team throw off-speed pitches because that would hurt everybody's arm.
Fair enough.
Because all the other teams were throwing us off-speed and curveballs, while we were just strictly fastball.
Fair enough. I could see maybe a changeup. That's what
Changeup, but that's such a difficult pitch for kids to throw these days. They don't really think it's that great of a pitch when really it's the best pitch in baseball.
Exactly, yeah. I was going to say, I never learned a curveball until I was 13. My dad wouldn't let me throw one either. He said, you learn the changeup, learn the heck out of the changeup. That'll be your best friend.
It is the best pitch.
But other than that, no. So have you ever had any ambitions to pitch here at the college level?
You know, I always like watching the pitchers and seeing how, you know, they have the whole game in their hands, and then they pitch, they give it all they got, and then they're just done for the weekend. Like, they just give it all, and everything's in their hands. I think that's really cool. It's a completely different part of the game, just like I think catching is a different part of the game. There's the catchers, the pitchers, and there's the rest of the fielders. Yeah. 3 completely different parts of the game.
You think maybe a senior day 9-position thing could be in your future?
Yeah, if that's a thing, but we'd have to have a game that didn't matter.
That's true.
You know, at this point, every game matters.
That's true. Well, for you guys this year, you're certainly in that scenario, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. You're from Penn Valley, and the elevation in Penn Valley is almost a higher number than the population. What's your favorite part about that area?
That's interesting you say that because, you know, no one really knows where Penn Valley is. I say I'm from Grass Valley, which is about 15 minutes away from Penn Valley. And really, the closest place if you wanted to get fast food is 15 minutes away, you know. But my favorite part of Penn Valley is definitely the trees. It's coming back and seeing, you know, beautiful nature, you know, being in the city, the Bay Area for so long. It's just so nice to come back, and it's just nice on the eyes. You know, it's good breathable air, and like the water's great. You know, I live off well water, and it's just, it's beautiful out there. That's what I always miss the most.
Now, one thing that Penn Valley is actually known for, and I had to look this up, they host a rodeo every single year.
Oh, yeah, we do.
What's your stance on the rodeo? Are you a fan of it?
I am a huge fan of the rodeo.
Yes.
The rodeo is actually just down the street from me because I live up on a mountain just above the rodeo, so I can hear the rodeo from my house. And I've gone every single year. I know the people that get free tickets. Everybody in town goes to rodeo. It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty nightmare when it gets rained out. Everybody just panics. Only thing bigger than the rodeo is the Grass Valley Fair, which, you know, everyone comes in from under their rock and comes out to go to the fairgrounds. But for Penn Valley, the rodeo is our thing. I'm
going to quiz you here. Do you know the one city in Salinas that... I just gave it away. I was going to say, what's the one town in California that is the biggest rodeo?
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, well, I just gave it away. My hometown, Salinas. I can't even ask a question. That's the beautiful thing about live shows. Salinas has the largest one.
Largest rodeo.
I did the same thing you did growing up, going every single year
to
the rodeo.
It's a thing to do.
It is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of the bull riding is just amazing to watch.
PBR night.
Yeah, PBR night.
Wednesday nights, those are the absolute best. That's the one I really enjoy.
Yeah, and then when I was little, I actually worked it from my school, because my
No
school's
way.
just down the street, so we'd work a snack shack, and I'd go up and down the stands and sell sodas for a couple bucks. I thought it was just so fun.
Oh my gosh, that's the life right there.
Yeah, it is.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about the team. You were talking about how every game matters for the Oaks, and you're certainly in that position now based on what happened last weekend. Great weekend for the Oaks, first sweep of the season, beating San Diego Christian in 3 games. Was this the most complete baseball series you guys have played all year?
Oh, 100%. We were a different type of team out there. We were what we really could be. Our problem was just not everything clicks all the time. We'll be hitting really well, but then our pitching can't keep up. Then our pitching's just doing really well, and we just stop hitting. And then it's the defense. But this weekend, everything clicked. Everything clicked. Everyone was on board. There was great chemistry this weekend. Everybody was rooting for each other. Everybody did their jobs. It was a great atmosphere. I really loved being out there, and San Diego Christian really didn't know what hit them. They were expecting, like, hey, come get some W, but no, we weren't sitting down at all.
Yeah, Game 3 was the one where it seemed like maybe things weren't all there, but then an amazing comeback by the Oaks, 5 runs in the 7th inning to tie the game. Mason Allen wins it in the 11th. What did that game say about the mentality of this team?
Going into that Game 3, I think we were just already so fired up that we won 2 games on the day before that we just went into the game just with free will. We didn't really care if we won or lost, because we had already taken the 2, so we just played so relaxed, and we're down all those runs, but we knew we had a ton of game left, and we just kept chipping away. Everyone's doing their job. I know Mason was huge in that last inning. His swing's been looking so good, and we just knew he was going to need a hit for us, and he did, and it was just a great celebration. We've been waiting to do that for so long. 2
guys who were certainly instrumental this weekend, Justin Bruce and Ryan McCarthy on the mound to help you guys pick up the sweep. From your point of view, what was the most impressive part about their outings?
Well, Bruce has he's been great all season. He keeps hitters off such good off speed. His changeup's just devastating.
My gosh.
His changeup comes from the exact same slot as his fastball. And my favorite part when Bruce is when they bunt, he just runs and tags them. He'll probably tackle him when he does it. But Bruce gets so fired up out there, and he's so fired up for the team. He's not one of those pitchers that goes in the dugout and just like, nobody talk to me. He's up with the whole team. And then Ryan goes in there, and I went to high school with Ryan, and Ryan he's evolved so much, and he came in such a clutch situation. He had some tough times, and he had to get some real tough situations. He just kept pounding the zone, and our defense picked him up, and he just did what he needed to do. He could have given up a lot of runs and then just completely killed our momentum, but he stayed strong. It was really awesome with him.
I like that you mentioned that about Justin Bruce in the dugout, because it seemed like a complete 360 from Justin Bruce 1 year ago.
Oh, yeah.
When I was with you guys on the road a couple of times, he was always quiet, reserved, didn't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
And this year, he's one of the most vocal guys on the team.
Yeah, Bruce has definitely taken over a good leader role in the dugout. He gets really hyped for his teammates. He's not taking the game so seriously when he pitches, and he's just really relaxed. Because a lot of times he hits for himself, so he's got to be engaged in both sides. But he's definitely evolved a lot on that, and I really like that about him right now. He's really a team guy. Working forward on it.
Another guy who's certainly been impressing all season long has been Justin Wallace. He went 7 for 13 this series against the Hawks, his first 2 homers of the year, and earned GSAC Player of the Week honors. What can you say about the way he has sparked the team from the top of the lineup?
Wallace is something else. He just came out of nowhere. From JV team to 4-hitter, just out of nowhere, and Wallace has got a bit. He's got his attitude. He hits line drive, but it's not good enough. Nothing's ever good enough for Wallace. But I think that's what drives him. I think Wallace is one of the luckiest people I've ever met. He gets a ton of great hits, but the field's just always open for him. He'll hit that ball anywhere it drops. Wallace, he just finds holes. That's what he does. He misses the ball, peppers it over first base, at base hit. He just finds a way. Baseball guys are shining down on him, and then they shine down on him for when he struggles, and then he just gets hot, and he just hits the ball real hard. He's just all over the place. His bat's in the zone so long, and pitchers don't know what to do with him. And I think that really sparks him up. And he definitely fires the team up when he gets a big hit. He is something else. He is something else. But I think that's really good. A lot of personality in that guy.
He certainly makes hitting 453 look pretty darn easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And and he actually would have had another hit on the weekend, got one taken away. And that's the first time I've ever seen him have a hit taken away from him.
That's right. It was
The second baseman.
Second baseman. That's right. Diving
Great
back
play,
behind
great
the bag.
play.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And he's all frustrated with himself. And then next time up,
Yeah.
was it the home run the next time up?
It could have been. Yeah, I think it was. Because everyone was like, did Wallace just get a hit taken away from him? Like, that never happens.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, you can't take away a home run.
Exactly. All right, now Menlo is right there with Hope International for the final playoff spot. So that makes this weekend series pretty big because you guys go down to Fullerton for the only time this season. Historically, Hope has had your guys' number. You're just 1-6 all time against that program. What's the key to beating them?
Yeah, Hope's a tricky case. I've played them all 3 years. And somehow, whenever we go down and play Hope, we just play our worst baseball. The first time we played them, we just had our worst weekend ever. It was under the lights. We were struggling catching fly balls under the lights. The ball goes over the lights. We couldn't take it. And everyone just kept falling. And, the first series, Hope took our signs. They knew exactly what was coming. They made Jason Alexander look like he's the easiest pitcher in the world when he's one of the best.
Yeah.
And so they're a tricky team. But if we have all cylinders firing, we can definitely take them. They're a lot like us. They're scrappy. They definitely been struggling this season just as we are. So it's gonna be a battle of the brains, really, of who's gonna be a smarter baseball club.
Winner of that series winds up being the number 5 seed in the conference standings with just a few weeks left to go in the season. All right, Dalton, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 random off-the-wall questions. You give me your best answers.
All right.
Question number 1. Which teammate would make the worst switch hitter?
A lot of guys think they can switch hit. One guy I've never seen try it is Eric Whitfield. Whitfield, he spends enough time of day thinking about his swing. I don't think there's any more time in a day for him to think about a left-handed swing. Baseball is the hardest game in the world to hit a fastball, and trying to do that from one side is hard enough to try to do it from the other.
Yeah.
So Whitfield definitely does not have any more thought process to be able to do it.
But you know what? If he's hitting 350 or so from the right side,
yeah, why would you mess that up?
No, exactly. But let's stay on the subject of switchies and go. Is there anyone on this team who you think could make a switch pitcher?
Switch pitcher. Definitely Emilio. I think he's actually thrown more left-handed in his past 3 years here because all his UCL.
Because of his arm, yeah.
He actually has a pretty good arm left-handed. He's shagged so many balls for us and played catch left-handed that he's actually got a pretty good arm left-handed. So he would be the switch pitcher.
Did you ever think about being a switch pitcher, or did your dad ever think about you becoming a switch pitcher?
Because it has to do with pitching,
True, that's right.
Yep, you got to stay away from the pitcher, But the whole game's on the pitcher's hands, and he never wanted me to have to deal with that.
But that's how you could have kept your arm fresh.
I could have kept the arm fresh.
Every single batter just switched left and right.
Just switch, we never burn out one arm.
They probably didn't have too many switch gloves back then.
No, they did not.
Especially not for little leaguers, so that might have been the real reason.
That is a good point.
And then question number 3, which teammate would make the best calf roper?
Ooh, calf roper. I say the person that looks like the most cowboyish would be Wyatt Neebe, the sheriff on our team, Sheriff Neebe. He kind of walks like a sheriff and he kind of acts like a sheriff, and he would look like a cowboy. But I think actually Will would be the best because he wouldn't even need the horse. He'd just chase it down.
True, he has the speed.
He has speed, and I think that'd be pretty fun watching Will try to chase down a calf and roping it. He's a pretty fine dining kind of guy, and him going to get down dirty and trying to get down the calf would be pretty fun to watch.
That would be a lot of fun to watch. Now, going back to Wyatt for a quick second, I remember, I think it was Coach Carrion who said Wyatt would make the worst dodgeball player.
Oh, yeah.
Would you confirm that?
Oh, 100%.
How can a catcher be...
He blocks balls. He would block all the dodgeballs. He would save a lot of teammates.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he just wouldn't be able to necessarily dodge.
He would not be able to dodge, but he could probably gun some guys out. He's got some pretty pinpoint accuracy throwing guys out on the bases.
He's got the sheriff's arm.
He's got the sheriff's arm. He's got the quick bullet.
All right, Dalton, thanks for joining us.
Of course,
thank you. Appreciate it. You're welcome, folks. The baseball team is on the road this weekend. A big series for Menlo College. They are down in Fullerton to take on Hope International University, the Royals, who currently hold on to the 5 seed in the conference standings. Night game on Friday. It's at 6 o'clock, and then a doubleheader, short turnaround for Menlo College as they play the doubleheader on Saturday at 11 o'clock a.m. We invite you to tune into next week's show when Dalton Maxwell will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on Unrooted Baseball Edition. Until then, we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.